Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video is going to be my review of this knife, and this is the ProTech Sprint. And so this is a very small out the side automatic knife, and it's actually a California legal automatic knife, which means that the blade is under 2 inches. Now, that's not something I have to worry about. Where I live, decriminalized automatic knives a little while back and doesn't really have like a blade length law overall, at least for the state. So I don't have to carry a knife this small, but I chose this knife. I purchased this knife because what I wanted was a really small knife that I could carry in gym shorts, like when I'm working out, going to the gym, doing stuff outside, that I just want to be able to have a knife on me that's really, really small and unobtrusive, that I can put in my pocket and barely feel that it's there, or even in, a fanny pack, things like that. And so this is super small and definitely fits that, right? But I also wanted to be able to open it and use it easily. Sometimes really small knives, like of this size, that are manual knives, can be a little bit more difficult to open for me with my kind of big, thick, wide hands. I typically carry larger knives. Like here's a Spyderco Military 2, which fits my hand well. Other larger knives along those lines, 3.5 inches to 4 inch blade length. I really like the large Sobenza from Chris Reeve. I like the large Griptilian. So generally I lean towards larger knives. But when I was looking for a smaller knife purposefully, specifically for, its smallness, for ease of carry, I didn't want to sacrifice being able to open it easily. So I thought that an automatic would fit the bill, basically. It would make it so that it's really easy to open and use without fumbling around, and that's certainly the case. If you've had a ProTech, they do a great job of their automatics. This thing is snappy. So I don't have one to compare to right now, but for example, as compared to a Kershaw Launch, there's a very small Kershaw Launch, which is probably a couple, but I've reviewed one very small Kershaw Launch. I would say there's nothing wrong with the Kershaw Launch series. They're great. I think that they're a really good value also, but I would say that ProTech does a better job of that snap. I mean, this thing really launches out there, and especially with it being a small blade, it really comes out fast. Now, it's also really easy to close, as you can see, because it is small. I can just use my index finger and then my thumb and get it closed without any trouble or hassle. I've never really had an issue where I didn't get it closed or it felt dangerous or anything like that. So I find it really easy to use. Now, even with that, I've never had any issue with the button pressing inadvertently. So, you can kind of press on it here with the flat of your thumb. Like I'm pressing as hard as I can basically, and it's not going to go. You have to get in there and press with the point of your thumb or your finger or whatever. So I like that because I don't want to use a safety. I don't feel like a knife needs a safety. A lot of automatic knives, especially out the side automatic knives, do have safeties, and it's just not something I'm interested in. I don't want to have to click a safety and then open the knife. It kind of defeats the purpose of the automatic, right? So I like that you can, when you're doing it purposefully, you can easily press that button. It's not difficult to press, but you're not going to accidentally press it. At least I haven't. Then the other thing is sometimes automatic knives like this, out the side automatic knives, will have some blade play, and this doesn't. So it's super solid forward and back, and even if I unlock it and kind of hold it in the unlocked position, there's no side to side, and this is how it came from the factory, from when I bought it. So really happy with that. So just really nicely made, as you can see, well centered. It came with a really nice edge also, so just a great built knife, USA made. And then the design I really like also. So it's got a nice simple handle. You can certainly hold it in like a pinch style grip like this, or a pinch like this. You can get up here and get to fine work like that, or all the way here. Now, of course, being that the handle is so small, you can feel this pocket clip, but it's not a huge deal. You're not going to be whittling for hours with this knife. And then the blade shape is classic, right? This is a classic drop point, almost leaf-shaped blade. It's got a nice swedge that gives it a good look there. and then a very, very pointy, very usable point. My cousin, I guess technically second cousin, something like that, watches my videos and really kind of made fun of me for saying it's got a pointy point about a knife. But that's the case here. It's got a pointy point. Actually, it might have been another ProTech, which I'm going to show you. But it does have a very pointy point. It's got a nice edge to it. You know, it's kind of a continuous curve, and you can do real cutting with this. You know, it's not a novelty. I think that for most people, this will do most of your daily tasks. It has been really great for me. I've carried this a lot. I've used it a lot, and it has held up well. Also, I actually just sharpened it for the first time recently because I cut on some ceramic plates with it. And so I'm really happy with the steel also. It's S35VN. ProTech uses a 154cm a lot. I've actually been happy with their 154cm too. But then now they're using other steels like MagnaCut and things like that. And honestly, I'm a fan of ProTech. I don't have that many knives from them. I guess I just have 2, but I'm planning to get more because, USA made, reasonable prices. They're not like super inexpensive or anything, but very reasonable, I think. And I've been really happy with them. Speaking of the clip here, again, with the ease of carry, it's a nice deep carry clip. I mean, you might be able to see a little bit of the knife above your pocket, but it's nice and deep carry. And just overall, I really like this little knife. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to carry. It's very well made. I think it's a great option. So if you're looking for a very small knife that, and you're okay with automatic or want automatic, this is a great option. They do have a larger version of this that has a 3-inch blade. I'm considering getting that, to be honest, also, but there's a whole bunch of ProTech knives that I'm considering getting. So, there's always a lot of knives that you want to get, right? But I really enjoy this ProTech Sprint and highly recommend it if you're looking for a small automatic knife. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and select all so you know when I post new videos. Check out my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife-related topics. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.